Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I cannot wait to share with you the most modern and up-to-date shooting techniques that trace the shot all the way from the feet to the catch and the release. My philosophy is to be a great shooter, you need to commit to either the 1-2 or the hop much more often. I believe the hop is faster, has more rhythm, and is more consistent, but everything we show here is applicable to the 1-2 footwork as well. I'm going to take you step by step through the hop, the turn, the dip, and the sway, and everything in between, plus a ton of drills and tips to help you master each individual part. This video isn't just for players wanting to improve their stroke from the outside, it's also for trainers and coaches who want to learn how to teach their teams to shoot better. And it's been proven that teams that shoot well from the outside not only win games, but have more fun doing it. There is so much packed into this video, you're going to want to go through this in chunks. Start with the individual chapter and work on it until you feel comfortable, then move on to the next. A lot is said about confidence being the most important thing in shooting, and I don't really like that term. What I think people mean by confidence is rhythm, and that is what I am striving to teach here. Once you begin the shot, it does not stop until it smoothly flows through the journey up and out towards the rim. By focusing on the rhythm, you'll discover that confidence and feel like every shot you take will go in. So let's get started on your journey. You in? Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I am really excited to bring to you the definitive shooting series. And when we're talking about shooting the basketball, what better place to start is with the hop, the preparation with which you start your shot when you're receiving the basketball on a catch. So I have some players here over here that we're going to talk about a lot of the concepts behind the hop. So the first thing we want to talk about is how high should you be in the air as you're lifting your feet. Now don't forget, the first rule of the hop is the ball's in the air, you're in the air. So that's the interesting part about the preparation. Now, as far as the hop goes, we're going to do it without a ball because if you're just beginning to learn the hop, we want you to do it without anything distracting you. So the first thing is the hop. So let's all just demonstrate a quick hop into a stance, like almost like you're going to be in triple threat when you land. So everybody, let's go. Let's see it. Good. Okay. Now, if you can see, the key here is 2 inches, no higher than 2 inches. And in fact, when we call it the hop, I kind of want to change it to call it the drop, because you almost drop into your stance, right? You drop into that hop. So this time I want you to do a hop and then jump in like mime a shot without a ball. Ready, go. Good, good. Let me do it one more time. Good. Now, if you can see that when we're talking about the hop and how high you should jump, right? We have a lot of guys talking about, oh, elevate as high as you can. Well, that makes you too rigid and too tense. So what we want to do is jump as high as if you're jumping rope. You know, a nice springy jump, like you're jumping rope. That is about as high as you need on every shot. And in the fourth quarter, when you're a little bit fatigued, you'll be able to recreate that. So show me a hop like that, where 2 inches and you spring up and then land with one sound. Let's see it. Good. Now, the other thing we want to talk about is, besides the 2 inches as the ball's in the air and you're in the air, is you want to land with one sound, not two. You don't want to land, right? You want to land with one sound to be as explosive and balanced as possible. So, again, one more time, show us 2 inches, explode, and then as high as you would for a jump rope. Go. Good. Now, you can see there's some differences here. Ricky likes to step into it, right? He's almost doing like a one hop. Right? Whereas Nas is kind of just going from one position and jumping. So show us how you do that. Good. Now that was almost a 2. Let's see a hop here. Ready? Good. Now that's a college-y thing. They like to come up there and they go 1 and 2. And that's not a travel. It's like a 1-2. And that second hop has to be with one sound. Now you do it pretty much in place. Right? Let's see that. Great. And then let's see yours, Ruben. Good. I like it when you're in place, especially if you're in the corner, because if you want to step back and then step into the ball, you're at a risk of stepping out of bounds. Another really great drill to help you with the hop is to do a split feet, foot fire drill. So basically what I want you guys to do is you're going to be switching your pivot feet like this in rhythm, and I'll hold your ball for you. And then as you start to do it, I'm going to toss you the ball. Boom. Good. See that? As I toss him the ball, he lifts his feet in the air, finds his feet, scissors his feet together to find the alignment, and then shoots it. So let me see this. Ready? Go. Good. See that? And this is all part of the preparation towards finding that hop, right? Now, Ruben, you can do a shorter hop even, right? 2 inches. Let's see it again. Ready? Here we go. Good. Good. Now, what we're simulating here is we're simulating, running, right? Your feet are always in different positions at any one time. So you might want to hop when your left foot's in forward, right? So you got to be able to teach your body how to find the alignment again that way. And we also are talking about a turn here as well. So as he's slaloming his feet, boom, boom, good. See that? And at any time, you can constantly be training your body how to hop, how to bring your feet together, how to land with explosion, and then get up in the air and shoot your shot. And it's really important that you work on these things as warm-up drills. You guys do this, right? We do. Yeah, at the college level, they're still doing this motion because you have to keep your body in shape and in tune with how your legs and everything works together. Now let's talk a little bit about more of the footwork in the hop, because we have a thing called the sway, and that is where you bring your feet forward. So the key here is that we're not jumping forward as a rigid straight up and down like this. You're letting your feet flow forward as the hand goes out, and you have this sort of dolphin shape. That's the balance you get. So what we want to come over here is we're going to practice doing it across this white line. So what I want you guys to do is mime catching the ball, ball's in the air, you're in the air, and then when you hop, I want you to have your feet land on the other side of that white line. You're going to hop, shoot, and then let it flow. Let's see. Good, good, good. Now, if you can see from the side angle, you're going to see, do it again so we can get a nice profile, is you're going to see that you're hinging at the waist, right? You're not actually moving forward as a rigid line. It's the waist hinges, and as the shoulder comes forward, that's what gives you that balance, and it lets your shoulders be relaxed. So let's see that. Good, good. One more time. Quick, hop. Good, very nice. Okay, so that is really the key component when you're trying to do the hop. One sound, 2 feet, sway over that line. Now you also notice when they're finished swaying, so do it one more time and let's see how they follow through. Look, watch what they do, right? So oftentimes they're actually terrific at it. They've learned how to get their feet to flow and then not have to step back. But you might have that happen. You might shoot that and then have to go back a little bit until you get more comfortable with this motion. Like I have to still do that because I had never swayed when I was a shooter. But now, when you're young enough and you're practicing it enough, you can simply sway, land, nail that, and not have to step back, and you're right back in the action. So that is the hop, and that is the first building block toward improving and making your jump shot as lethal as possible. So a really cool drill to help you with the hop is to do shooting against the wall, so you get a lot more repetition and you're not worried about the results. Because the whole key here is, as we're building your shot, you don't want to get sort of focused on whether you're making it or missing it. We want to get everything down right. What we want to do is work on, the other thing is, a lot of times you'll see that ball? You'll see guys who they're going to throw it out here and spin it and then try and hop and catch. Well, you don't often get bounce passes for jump shots, right? You're always getting, chest passes. So what we decided that works a lot better is just to toss the ball up in front of you and now catch it that way. Okay, so let's see that. So I want you to toss it in front of you and catch it on the hop, and then I want you to shoot up against the wall in rhythm about 12 feet high. And that's going to help you with your arc. Is you want to hit a spot about 12 feet, and if it's hard for you to figure out where that is, then get a mark up there. Get a ladder or get whatever, and put a little mark up there so you know where it is. So let's see that real quick. Good. Okay, keep going, keep going. This is a good drill. Good. Now it was probably a little too high, right, Ricky? Here we go, keep going. Good. So what you can work on, just keep doing this while I talk, you can work on rhythm, right? As you're into your shot, you want the ball to be coming up as you're coming up, and now you can get the flow of the shot all the way through, again, without being worried about focusing on the rim that's 25 feet away and worried about what's going to happen with the ball after it's released. You want to be really hyper aware right now of your body. Good. Really nice. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I am excited for you that you're joining us on this journey towards becoming a better jump shooter. And today I want to talk about the turn, because way back in the day, we used to teach it where you had to have 10 toes to the rim. And that was back in the distant past when we all shot with 2 hands in a set shot without jumping. Well, the new version of this, and all the great shooters from the last 50, 60 years, all had some version of a turn. And what I mean by that is before you catch the ball, and as you're catching it, you are finding the proper alignment between your shooting hip and your shooting elbow. And it's really hard to do that if you have 10 toes to the rim. You're going to fight your shoulder and your upper body to try and get that alignment. And that's when you see guys who pigeon toe it, or they do all sorts of funky stuff. They shoot it over here because they can't get that alignment any other way because their feet are holding them back. So the turn is real, trust me. So now the question becomes, well, how much do you turn? So if you can see here, as a righty, I'm going to turn toward my left. A little bit or a lot, depending on my body type and how flexible I am, to get my shooting hip and my shooting elbow in a nice vertical line with the rim. And there's all sorts of versions. Kyrie is 90 degrees. JJ Redick starts almost 10 toes and then ends up when he lands 90 degrees. And it's going to take practice to kind of figure out what that is, but it's also very, very natural. In fact, you don't have to really coach it as much as not coach 10 toes to the rim. And that's the key here. Let your kids, and if you're a player yourself, find your natural turn, and don't think that that's wrong if you do it. So a great way to figure out how much you should turn before you enter into a jump shot is to start with your toes pointing 10 toes to the rim. And I want you to shoot a jump shot, and when you land, don't move. Just let your feet stay where they are. Ready? So shoot. Good. Now don't move. As you can see, let's get that rebound. As you can see, he's turned naturally. That's what his body wanted to do in the first place. So now what I would do is I'd give him the ball. Don't move your feet. Now shoot from there. Okay? Good. Now, of course, he makes it because of that, but the bottom line is that if you're trying to figure out how far you should turn, you have your toes, 10 toes to the rim, jump, and when you land, I guarantee you, it's probably going to be some amount of turn. That's the starting point, a really great place to begin, and from there you can tweak, and you know if it's working or not because all good shooters shoot the ball straight. Might be short, might be long, but it's always straight, and this is usually the first thing I look for is that alignment if you're not having a problem getting it straight onto the rim. So in real life, when we're talking about the hop and finding your turn, you have to probably do it while you're in the air in that hop, and that's what you have to train over and over again. So keep throwing the ball back and just don't shoot it. Get ready to now do it again, throw it back, and just keep doing this. This is really good to make sure you find the angle. Now watch this. The next time we throw it, look, good. Now he finds his turn. Look, his feet are almost pointing perpendicular to the baseline, but you can see the hip is here. Give me a little list here, like this position. Look, hip and elbow are in a line in a nice vertical plane. Now the other key you want to make sure you get here is when you get past the ball here, pass it back to him, is as he catches it, he's going to get it to that spot on this side so that this vertical plane, see that ball never moves out of that plane once he goes up with the shot. Now let's go to the left wing if we can, and let's look at it from the other side because it's a totally different kind of a shot. No, now he's not facing the baseline when he catches it. He's going to end up facing the sideline over here. So let's see, the other key thing about this is you want to make sure that you make the passes from different areas, right? Because how often do you get a kick out from the post?
That's a luxury.
Yeah, it's a luxury, right? And by the way, that's the best shot because you're already lined up for the basket. But more often than not, you're catching it from here. Maybe you catch it from the corner, maybe. So you need to be able to vary that. And don't have a guy come in here and say, oh, we're just going to shoot 100 shots and I'm going to stand under the basket and throw it to you. That's not going to help you as much. So here comes the pass from the side. Boom, look, boom, look. Under balance, under control, and his feet are pointing all the way to the sideline. It's really important. This is the only way to be a consistent shooter is when you find your turn, and that's what you have to do is over and over again. So he's pretty much squared up to the basket, and then as it comes, there's a little bit of that turn. You got to find it so you're not torqued, but you got to also find it where you can get that alignment. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I am pleased to have you on this journey toward a fantastic jump shot. And today I want to talk about the dip because it's a really important concept that everybody needs to have when shooting the basketball. You might have a coach or someone out there that's trying to teach you not to bring the ball down when you catch it thinking that it's too slow. That said, how many times do you ever see a jump shot blocked? A. And then B, everybody does it. Would you swing a golf club like this? Right? Would you throw a dart like this? No. You have to have that follow through and that backswing, and that's exactly what the dip is. So we're talking about power and rhythm from the dip, and if you try and take that out, we're in a world of problems. So let's go over here with Nas, and we're gonna look at how he shoots it and what his dip looks like. So who's the passer? Ruben? Okay, we're gonna throw a pass. Now watch how he shoots as a dip. Good. Now you might think that it doesn't look like much of a dip. It's not. It's about 6 inches. Boom, brings it down. Good. So we've had coaches in the past, I've seen this, where they'll stand here with their hand here, forcing the guy not to bring the ball down the catch. So what we want you to do is, if you're just starting out, actually come a little closer, come like 15 feet. Give him the ball right here. Now, just before you shoot it, hold the ball at your tummy. This is a great way to begin. You'll see young kids, when they're so small, they'll come running up here and they'll go like this. They'll bring it up here and then they'll try and heave it like this. And so what you have to train out of that, and if you do this, is start the ball at your tummy level, at your stomach level, and then as you go into your shot, that's that dip that you're going to get. So show us how that works just from there, even lower. Do that again. And you'll see the rhythm. So hold even low, down here, like even this. Okay, now go. Yeah, good. Now you can see right there, the rhythm is better already, right? It's because you're starting here. Now you don't have to have it out here, right? You want it in here near your belly. That's the starting point for the dip. So now let's go back out to the three-point line again, because again, the key for this is the power that you generate with the dip. It's 6 inches, so let's give him another pass and let's do it live. Watch that ball as it goes boom. See that? Real simple. Do it again. You can see the rhythm is so much clearer when he uses that dip. Now show us without dipping, just for fun. Can you do that? Oh my goodness. First of all, you heard it hit his hand. It almost hurt my hand with that. And that's the thing, you lose the rhythm. What happens to your shoulders when you try and do that? Yeah, you get really tight because you're forcing the ball up like that. That's not how you want to shoot it. One more time with a good dip. Show us a good dip. Good, that's beautiful. Now, the thing with this is that you don't need to have too big of a dip. We don't want, like Ray Allen would go almost down to his knees. And he was a great shooter and a quick shooter, but that always seemed a little extreme. So I'm looking at anywhere between 6 inches and a foot of a dip. So let's see Ruben do this now, and we'll go through all three guys to see the difference in dips. You get a handle on what this looks like. Okay, here we go. Look at that. So Ruben's got a nice dip. Oh, here it comes. Good. Now watch that hop. A little smaller hop will help you. Better. Good. Okay, one more time. Good. Okay, and now let's see Ricky. Let's see you do it. You can see now that was a bigger exaggerated dip. Now, it won't slow down the release time if he gets all the footwork and preparation ahead of time. That's the key here. So here we go. Good. Now he's got a nice big dip too, much bigger than Nass. Let's see that. So you can see it. Look at that. Boom. And that's perfect. This is a really good shooting college guard right here. So I want you to keep your eyes out when you're watching the pros or the college players, how they all dip, and don't let anyone tell you that they don't. You might even hear Steph Curry say, I don't dip, but he does, and we have plenty of footage to show you. So that's the most important thing about the dip. It's 6 inches to 12 inches. It's important for rhythm and power, and it has to be an essential part of your game. And what's key here is all the other things that we're going to work on in our other videos will help you prepare so that your shot is quick, and the dip does not harm at all any of the release time. An often overlooked fundamental of the shot is how to catch the ball properly. So I have some fantastic tips for you and fundamentals that are going to help you become a much better shooter than you could ever dream of. And today we're going to talk about, first of all, catching the ball with the seams. So let's have Nas come over here on the wing, and why don't Ruben, you go on top to be the passer. Now, this is not anything I can just sort of tell you with a special drill that you're going to develop the notion of how to catch the ball along the seams. Part of this is the passer getting the seams towards you. Part of this is on the catch, just a natural feel over enough repetition to figure out how to get your hand across the seams. But it is important as you throw it there, freeze, look, to get the ball across the seams. The turn, we can see this. Now, we're going to go into depth a little bit more about how you want to position your hand later, but certainly he is an index finger shooter along the middle of the ball, and that's the most important part about the catch, because you might not have enough time to get it completely across the seams like this, but that's what you're looking for and you're going to try. And trust me, after enough time and enough confidence and comfort on the court, it just starts to happen. It's weird, but that's the basketball gods. Now we're going to talk about the arms. This is huge. Nobody talks about this as far as I've seen. Most kids and most guys, as you develop, as the pass comes in, they want to reach out and go like this and now bring it in, okay? A lot of wasted motion. Now the ball can get all loose and crazy in there. So you have to be able to focus on keeping your arms straight or bent and catch the ball closer to your body. So let me see if you can do that, like alligator arms almost. Boom, good. So you see how we caught it that way? I think it's a misnomer that you need to go to the ball on a catch. We teach that from early age. Throw the ball to Ruben here. Throw it to me. You have to go to the ball. Otherwise, they're going to steal it. Well, my response to that is, how often do you see that pick six steal? It doesn't happen that often, and it won't matter if you go to the ball. Maybe you'll foul the guy who's stepping in to steal that. So really focus on keeping your arms closer to your body so that motion is very tight. So let me see that and shoot it. Good. Now show us if you were to straighten your arms out and reach for that ball all the way. Oh, my fault. Glad I was an option of a bad pass. One more time. Good. Now, that was reaching out way too far. You can see the rhythm is all off. One more time. Now, give me a nice tight arms. Good. Now, you're going to see the difference here when you're coming up and off the move, too, by keeping your arms in. It's a huge time. It's a time saver, but you can convert more of your energy. If I'm coming up off a pin down and I keep my arms in here, you can convert more of that energy into the shot than if you're moving like that and having to bring it in and out. That's what Steph Curry does. And interestingly, he doesn't even know he does it, but that's after enough millions of shots, he's figured out that, hey, it's much more compact and much more efficient. Keep your elbows bent and in and catch it in the pocket. Now we want to talk about the wrist. This is another huge one that I see all the time in the free throw line primarily, but also in the jump shot. So as the ball is coming in and you catch it, ideally you want to have your wrist flexed all the way back, cocked back, if you will. And that's the key. If your wrist is like this, now Nas does shoot like that, and he starts, as he's going to come up, you're going to now bring it up, right? So now you have two moving parts. You have your arms coming up and the wrist going back. Some guys are good at it, they can do it, but it's hard to be consistent as a shooter that way. And whenever I've helped somebody with this and say, okay, get that wrist back early, it really helps. So let's see that and watch how he does this. As the ball's coming in, he's going to focus on his wrist being cocked. Good, better. Okay, do it again. Now, that's the other thing is physiologically, you're going to have some kids who can, their wrist can go all the way back. Some kids don't go that far back, but you want it to be in that ready position that you normally shoot it at every time you catch it. So let's see it again. Good. Okay, now you can see across the seams, wrists ready to go, arms were close together. These are the three components that are really important for making yourself a much more consistent jump shooter. And then we can talk about the makes and when you have the consistent mechanics. Another really interesting focus you should have when you're working on catch and shoot is where the pass is coming from. Because you can come out here and shoot shots and never realize, oh, I'm not working on the game situations that you need to do. So when the pass goes from the left side, it's an easier shot. Why? Because as the ball is coming in, I can catch it with my left hand and my right hand can be ready to go and shoot it. On the other side, my right hand has to kind of stop the ball and then fidget with it to get the seams if I need to. So as we see this here, Ricky's going to show us, go a little higher, Ruben. Pass the ball to him, and he's going to be able to use the left hand as a catch and the right hand just to find the seams. And that's a really important difference. So shoot this ball on this one now. Show us a little hop. Good, good. Now, did you notice that before?
It wasn't something I was consciously thinking of.
All right, and good. And I don't necessarily have to be conscious of it, but you certainly need to know that this is a side you'll probably shoot better on for a number of reasons. One, if you're a righty, is because generally your right hip and your right elbow are already in line on the left side of the basket, generally. But also it's because when the pass is coming from that side, it's because your left hand can do it. Now let's go, Ruben, you go on that side here, and let's talk about when the pass comes from the left side if you're a righty. And remember, just flip this if you're a lefty. It's the same thing, a little higher here. Okay, so now Ruben's going to have to kind of stop and catch the ball with the right hand and then try and shoot it. So let's see what that looks like real quick. Good, good. Now it's harder, right? It's harder to find that rhythm because now he's sort of like trying to catch it and shoot it all in one motion. It's harder on that side. One more time. A little bit, and by order of degrees, very small, but there's a subtle difference. So my take on it was you got to make sure that you're balancing it out, probably working a little bit more on this side because that's a big difference. Now, of course, when you catch the ball from the low post, that's the best shot, right? If you give me the ball here and I'm throwing it to here, he's in line, the ball is right there, you can catch it right on his shooting spot, and you can tell your teammates, hey, give it to me on my right side a little bit because that's where I wanted to shoot it. That's the best shot. This is the best percentage of three-pointers. When the ball is kicked out from the post or a drive from here or on a offensive rebound, that's the best one. But again, it happens once a game if you're lucky, right? Where the more of your shots coming from, all around the perimeter. So you have to make sure you work on your catch into your shot from all these different angles. So another key component of the catch is when you're in the corner waiting for that ball to get whipped around. Most players love to turn their whole bodies and they're waiting for that pass. They catch it and then they have to find the alignment again and shoot it while a guy is closing out who's 6'5" and long arms and you don't have time to get that shot off. So you have to have discipline to keep your body aligned to the rim like you like it and just turn your chin, turn your neck and your head to find that ball, elbows in at the pocket and catch it there. So why don't you pass the ball, Ruben, to the guy from the wing, and you spot up here, and let's see it off a hop. Ready? So go. Just turn the head. Good. Stay there. Really, just the head. Just the head. Good. Good. So you can see he kind of wants to open up. He wants it, but no. Keep that alignment. Find it. Catch the ball, bring it to your side, the shooting side, good. You can even dip if you like. Here we go, look, good, good. Got that? Now, the next piece of the puzzle here is you'll see a lot of college coaches and a lot of guys say, you know, in your preparation for the catch, you gotta be bent down really low and sort of bent over. Your quads are gonna get tired staying that way. So another argument for the hop is that you can be in a very neutral position, right? Like you are almost now, slightly bent, but upright, and now you can kind of catch the ball and hop into it. So let's see that, how you do that. See how we're nice and relaxed, good, good. Now, throw it to him, good, good. Now, when you watch the 1-2 guys and their preparation, good. See how that's easy. Could you stand there for 10 seconds without getting tired? But what if you were like this? Yeah, you're going to get tired pretty quick, and now you got to shoot the ball. What if it's the fourth quarter and you played 30 minutes, right? That's a problem that I wouldn't want to deal with as a coach. So make sure that you swivel your neck and your head to find that ball, and make sure you maintain a neutral stance, like a boxer, without getting too low so you don't tire out your quads. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Today I want to talk a little bit about the release off the fingers, because another one of those overlooked fundamentals that people just sort of try and figure out, but we have some interesting facts and fundamentals that you guys are going to want to learn about how to release the ball. So the best part about doing this is a couple ways we can work about getting the ball to roll off your hand, up and out, and off the fingertips with spin. So one way we do it obviously is just in place, and you literally just shoot the ball up, straight up, and catch it. So let's see how that looks, and we'll talk about what's happening. So here's one of the things you want to make sure of what's happening is when you shoot it straight up, you want to make sure that the ball comes straight back down on that same plane. Okay, so Ricky, show us that. Good. See how it stays perfectly in this narrow plane here? It doesn't go too far to that back or forward, but it comes off his fingers, really good spin. Let's see it, Nas. And it stays right along that plane. Now, if you notice yourself following backwards to get it, let's see it, Ruben. Good. Good, good. That's what you want, a nice tight spin, straight up and straight down. Now, another thing you can do to also work on the timing, because remember, as the elbow straightens, the wrist is going to flex all the way through. That timing is crucial, and I've seen young kids struggle with that, where they kind of straighten and then do it, or they do it too early and then straighten their arm. They can't get it all in sync. By the way, we see the NBA players do it. Watch Rudy Gobert shoot a free throw. So what we can do here is lie down on your back. Another good drill. This is an old school drill, and I don't even know if they knew why we were doing it. It's flat on your back, and now you're going to shoot it straight up and try and catch it straight down. Another way to make sure that it's rolling off the fingers straight, and you can get that timing of the elbow straightening with the wrist flick. So let's try it one more time. Yeah, and you'll know if you're doing it well, the ball starts flying around or not, and the better you get at this, the better you can get at that timing. It's really, really crucial to find that. Another important aspect of shooting is whether or not you are an index finger or middle finger shooter. And that's kind of up to you to figure out, but the way I look at it is when I put my arm straight up here and I'm looking down my arm, which of these fingers is in line with my wrist or my ulna, my radius? For me, when I spread my fingers to shoot it, you can see that my middle finger and index finger and pinky go out that direction, whereas my pointer finger is what's in line. So ideally, when I'm shooting, I want that one in the middle of the ball. When I'm shooting, I line up my index finger in the middle of the ball. Some guys are middle finger. They can kind of make it happen that way, and that's what's going on in the middle of the ball. And that's either whatever your body type is, that's what you want to do. Now, a big problem we've seen with a lot of releases is guys will end up like this. Instead of rotating this way, they'll rotate this way. The ball rolls off of their pinky, and they have a hard time training their bodies to stop having that happen or to have it do it consistently. So another cool trick to make sure that you get the ball off of your index finger, if that's what you are, is Michael Jordan would do it. As he shot the ball and released, he would bring his index finger to his thumb to form the OK sign. So why don't you guys do that while you're shooting and try that. Just shoot it straight up and give me that little OK sign. Go. Good. Now that might feel weird, but it might actually feel good where you're like, oh, I have a little bit more control, because what it's forcing you to do is two things. A, make sure that when you finish the ball, you always want to have these three fingers above the index finger. That will force your hand to not rotate sideways off of the ball. So Peja Stojakovic used to do it and ended up being a good shooter that way, but he's a rare bird. Most people need to have that wrist stay that way, and by keeping these three fingers up, that keeps the wrist in line and not this way. So that's a really important skill. And by the way, you can do that while you're shooting as well. And that really, you might like that. Another way to make sure that can work is a really great tip is shoot with just these three fingers. Bend these fingers underneath, yeah. Now you might think, oh, that's weird, I don't have control, but try it. You're gonna see that you only need these three fingers. If you got these cut off or whatever in a terrible accident, you could still be a really good shooter because all you need is the thumb and the fingers. Now, does that feel interesting? It does. Yeah. And that will also reinforce the importance of having either your index finger, if that's your finger, or the middle one as the last finger on the ball as it releases, because that's the key toward getting it straight and arc as well. If you are a thumber, and what I mean by that is if as you're shooting the ball, your offhand thumb also pushes on the ball, and you'll know that in your follow through if you film yourself or just look at it, is you end up like this with your thumb either out like that or pushing that way, and you want to get rid of that. Now let me be clear here, there's a lot of good shooters that are thumbers. Steph Curry gets some influence with his thumb, Larry Bird did it, so it's not like the end all be all. You can learn how to shoot that way, but if it's an issue and you're not shooting as well as you can and you realize you are a thumber, well, this is a great drill to help you avoid doing that. And all it is very simple. Let me see that ball. Is as you're shooting the ball, you want to take that thumb that you like so much and just touch it to the inside of your shooting wrist. So as you're shooting the ball, just have it do that. And you actually focus on that part for a little while. And what you start to realize is that you get a one-handed shot. And it's a really nice rotation. And I was a thumber, and I tell you right now, when I start doing that and I finish in this position here, all of a sudden that thumb is off that ball. It's really smooth. It hasn't affected any other part of my mechanic. So let me see that, guys. Try that real quick and see if that works. Good. Just to the inside part of your right wrist. Does that feel weird? Does that feel good, though, like off of your hand, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a really great way. But again, you might be a good shooter and pretty competent anyway with that left thumb influencing the ball. That's okay. But a lot of times you got to have a checklist of things you got to look at to say, well, okay, that doesn't help him, that's not helping him. This could really help, especially if you have way too much thumb. There are guys who get too much thumb. Joakim Noah is a great example of a guy who shoots like two-handed, and that would help him a lot. So if you have an issue with that, then this will really help you solve it. And today I want to talk about the one motion shot because it's a very ethereal concept. It's not easy to understand what it is, but it isn't that difficult to master. So back in the day when Kobe and these guys would shoot, even Michael, the ball would end up being like on top of their head where they would shoot it. And it would pause for a second before they released. And one of the components of a two motion shot would be you'd hang in the air. And we don't hang in the air anymore on our jump shootings, on our three-point shots, right? So that's one part of it. The other part is that the ball doesn't go, it stays in front of your face. That's the component we're talking about. So it doesn't go over your head. It always stays, like if you think about Steph Curry, it almost touches his face every time, but it stays in front of this plane here, up and out, and one motion doesn't stop. The other part of it, which is probably even easier to understand for the rhythm, is that back in the day when I learned how to shoot free throws, for instance, when I would bend my knees, I'd bring my arms up. And now from here, I'd have to go up and out. No dip, no rhythm, and that was very difficult to shoot. I mastered that, but it made it harder. Well, the one motion shot, the key here is you bend first. Now, as you're going up, the arms come up and out together in one fluid motion. And that is the crux of the one motion shot. Very difficult to teach sometimes when you have someone who's done two motion, but show us that shot right now. It shows how you bend, keep the ball to your belly, bend, and then go up. Yes, see that? Now you can argue that that is almost still a two motion shot as he is kind of stopping it here for a second, but it stays in front of his face and he doesn't go up too early. The rhythm is there. Let's see you do that, Ruben. Good. So start slow and start short. Bend your knees first. Yes, that's it. He has it the best, right? And the irony, he's the tallest, biggest guy out here. Those are the guys who usually hang in the air and they shoot on top of their head. But they don't need to because they're so tall as it is. So show it one more time. Bend your knees and now go up. Yeah, better, better. Now let's see it, Ruben. Bend down. Now, yeah, there you go. Better. Okay, and then here we go. Yeah, NASA's got it the best, honestly. And so that is the key to the one motion shot. The ball has to stay in front of your face, and you don't bring the arms up until your legs are extending. So let's see some free throws because that's the best way to do it. Why don't you guys get in line and shoot like a free throw with your dribbles? Because that's another great way to practice this and master that. And I guarantee you it will connect to your jump shooting. Here we go. So do your rhythm. Here we go. Good. Let's see that. Good. Good. Now, some of you guys, let me see, like are doing a little bit still of a two motion. It's not easy to master, but once you get it, like again, when I shot it, I used to go 1, 2 and up, right? And I had no power for that. Oh, sorry, can I have that? But what I started doing later in life is I would go down. So watch how I'm going to bend and now come up in one motion. Oh my goodness. And I get it straight. But that's that. Do you see how I did that? One motion shot is really the key for the rhythm and now it's effortless. And you can make those shots a lot easier under pressure, under duress of a last second shot to win the game. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I am very excited to be on this journey with you to improving your jump shot. Today I want to talk about the off-the-dribble jumper, because another one of these, not lost art, because it's a new thing. We never really worked on that and focused on how to teach the off-the-dribble jumper. And the real quick concept I want to share with you is about which hand you should be dribbling with when you pull up. Now, of course, in a lot of situations, you don't have a choice. It's got to be left, it's got to be the right. But when you do have a choice, the left-hand pickup is better. Why? Because when you bring the ball to your shooting hand, that rhythm that you can now save by the shooting hand having to do less is much easier. Again, like you're catching the ball from that direction, it can come right in here and your shooting hand is ready to go on that ball, as opposed to being concerned with the dribble part of it and then trying to find it. So why don't we have the shooters come in, dribble up with the left hand and pull up, and let's see what that looks like. On the hop, yeah. Good. There you go. You can see there is a rhythm here. Good. Now, keep going. Everyone keep going through. The key here is when you want to pull up with that left hand, you have to bring the ball to the shooting hand. Do not reach across your body, because then you get all sorts of stuff going on in here as you're trying to get that alignment. Bring it early to your hand and shoot it. So let's see that. Really make a point of that. Good. There you go. Let's see it. Bring it to the shooting hand. Good. And find the turn. Good. Nice hop. Good. Let's see it. Bring it to it. Good. Find that midline or find your alignment. Good. Now you see there, he brought his arm across. Your right hand, your shooting hand, should not come any farther than the midline of your body here. Even though your alignment's here, it should bring it here and right to where you want it, so your hip and your elbow and everything stays in that vertical plane that we've been talking about. One more time, let me see it from Ricky, just Ricky. Good. All right, good. Now, let's do it with, show us the right hand dribble now. Just to get a handle on what that looks like as well. So dribble up into the right hand. Good, okay. Good. You can see it isn't as smooth. There's a little bit lack of rhythm here, where you lose that when you have to pick it up off the right hand dribble. So a lot of times you might be coming off a pick and roll, or the defender's on that side, and you can't get the ball in the left hand for that last dribble before you pull up. Well, what we've been doing now recently with some of the NBA guys is we'll see them, as that last dribble is going to happen, they go through the legs, then they bring it here, and then they shoot it. They're going to dribble anyway, and through the legs at least it's protected quickly, and usually the defense isn't ready for that, and now they're bringing it again to their right hand. So can you show us that? How's your handle? Can we do that? There you go. Good. Let's see it, Ricky. Good. He made it. See? Good. Good. Now, and one more time, Ruben, let's see it. Okay. Oh, there you go. Good. Okay. So again, a thing that you have to practice and have extreme skill to do, but that's a nice way to focus on, is getting it to the left hand first. Now, the last piece of the puzzle in the 1-2 pickup off a dribble is you want to gather the ball, and that means touching with both hands, on the 2. So, as a quick demonstration, as the wrong example is, as I'm coming up here and dribbling, what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to go step, gather, 2, shot. Okay, you lose your rhythm that way. What I want to do is, as I'm stepping, I gather here. Both hands on the ball as that second step is touching to go. So let's see if we can see that from you guys as you come up, and focus on the gather on that 2. Good. That's it. Much better rhythm. Let's see it. Left hand dribble. Good. What you want to avoid is getting that ball up too early. Good. Let's see it. Good. Okay, on a hop too. Same thing. As you hop, boom, it's there. What you also want to avoid, and we'll do the hop now, is you want to avoid, as you're coming up off the dribble, you don't want to go, all right, did you hear that 2 sounds? We don't want that. We want you to come off a dribble, and as you're coming off the dribble here, and go, okay? Both the same way, the same sound. As you gather, you're landing on that. Let's see that. Off the hop. Good. Now that's almost a little early, right? The rhythm gets off. Here we go. Oh, that was early. See that? Now, do it again. Let's see. Good. Let's see a hop. All right. Good. That was good. Good. And look, you got a much better range on that one. Here we go. Okay. Now, Ruben, work on it. You're doing a little early on that pickup. That's it. That's really good. I like that rhythm right there. Let's see it one more time. As you hop, boom. Okay. Good. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I am really excited to be on your journey with you to improving your jump shot. And today I want to talk about the pin down because it's a vital part of any offense, and the better you get at it, the more opportunities you will get to shoot the basketball. So let's just talk about what we have on the right side of the floor. And again, if you're a lefty, just flip this because we'll talk about both sides. The basic pin down, if you don't know, is a guy facing the basket, setting a screen somewhere in this low post area, and the cutter comes up. And now in college, I might set the screen even higher so that he can come up and get a three-point shot. So let's see that and come around and shoot it, because we have two different ways we can shoot this, especially when you're a righty on the right side. You have a 1-2, which is, as you're coming up here, the 1-2 is this, 1-2. Or you can come off the pin down, and as you're running this way and the guy is trailing you, you can hop and go. I like the hop, especially when you're on the right side, but I want to show you both. So with the 1-2, there really is, let's walk through this here. As you're coming up, and you need to practice this and get it on your own time as far as how your feet fit on this court. But what you want to do is inside pivot foot is the best idea here, which means the foot closest to the basket is the right one. That's going to be your one that's going to turn on. As the ball comes, he's going to take that last step and rotate, find the alignment, which is a lot less to turn because he's on the right side. That's the other thing. Remember, on your right side, you're already having your hip and your elbow in line. So the key tip here I want to share with you is, as you're coming up, come back down here again. Imagine if you have a line that you're following on the court. Straight line up to here, and then it's going to bend at a 90-degree angle straight toward where the pass is coming from. And that last step you take is going to push off in the direction of the ball. Here, give it to me. And that gets you all the way around. A lot of guys, when they come up, and as they do this, they'll take a step this way. Now what happens? I'm here and I'm falling back because all my momentum is going this way. So you have to be disciplined as you're coming off and you're running to do that last step that way. So let's see that, Ricky. And you can shoot it. Push. Yes, good. See that? That's such a smooth shot, an easy way to get around and get that alignment when you're on the right side of the floor, the righty. So let's see that one more time. Show us that push off toward the basketball, inside pivot foot. Go. Good. All right, good. Now, another option you have is hopping, which is what I prefer, especially on the right side, because it's a lot less steps and a lot less preparation. As you're coming up here, look, as I'm running up away from the basket, look, my hip and my elbow are already almost in line anyway, and it's a real simple hop to here and shot. Steph Curry would do this in college all the time. He'd be facing the sideline, and he'd just catch it and throw it up there and go in. So let's see the hop going this way. Good. Good. Very quick, 2 inches. It's a much quicker release too, right? You don't have that other step coming in involved or having to take that 90-degree angle. One more time, quick, boom. Throw it to him, arms in. Good, yeah, look at that, good. Okay, that's okay. Now, remember, arms in on the catch, and when you want to explode in that hop, you don't need to get a full turn on that one all the way to the basket because you're already in line. Now let's move it over to the other side of the floor because it's a whole other ball of wax when we're going on this side. So, here we come, when we come up here, the inside pivot foot is now the left foot, if we're talking about righties. And so now the same deal though, plant that right foot and you push off toward the ball, get on your toe here and rotate here and get that shot. But here's the difference. When you shoot this shot on this side of the basket, you have to be facing, to get your alignment, a lot of turn. So there's going to be a bit of in-air turn. So let's see that when you do that on 1-2. Go. Full speed, yeah. Here he comes, push, good, good. Wow, beautiful. Do it again. Let's watch him. He pushes off that right foot, plants the left foot inside pivot foot. 1-2, good. Okay. Now there's an opportunity for him to clean up the footwork a little bit, right? Because as he came around, the timing was a little bit off. He ended up taking an extra step. So that's what you got to work on to figure out. So you don't need to take that extra step. It's only a, here it comes, boom, boom, and up, right? 1-2. And that one is already down on the catch. So let's do that. Come over here. Let's pretend that you already caught the ball and you're like this. So here's the deal. You face the ball, the passer. You can give him the ball, you can hold it. Now, stay in that position like you're like this, that you're just about to catch it. Now, good. So here's the deal. His whole body is turned the wrong way, right? This hip, this arm, and this hip and this elbow are in line, the left one. So in order for him to get that, he's going to have to rotate, and that's what you got to practice. But generally, he gets to about 10 toes to the rim. But we really want him to be all the way there, right? It's a really hard rotation. So what he ends up doing is rotating to the 10 toes, and then when he jumps, he will rotate in the air. Now do that in real time, and we'll get a slow-mo that you'll see what I'm talking about. And you'll start to see everybody rotating in the air now. Go. Here it comes. Good. Now, the other thing he does very subtly, because he's got very good body control, is his right leg starts to flow out a little bit in front of him to control that turn. And we'll see other places where he's going even faster, where he needs it more. But that idea is good. Don't let someone tell you that as you're coming around here, I might need to have my right foot kind of come out to control so I don't overturn in the air. So you'll see it. Do it again now that we pointed it out. Maybe accentuate a little bit of that right foot. Just let that right foot flow out a little farther. Ready, go. Good. See that? Good. Now, that will control your body, and that's a fundamental. Right now, when you're going to your right to pull up, you need to have that other foot flow out. Think about Kobe when he would sit there and shoot that. What he's doing is controlling the in-air turn, which you need in order to get the proper alignment on a pin down. So let's talk about the hop on the left side of the floor, because there is a bit of torque going on in the air to get that alignment, whereas we talked about the 1-2, we want to get it here and then you have some in-air rotation. It is possible on the hop on this side to actually get all that turn before you land. So Nas is going to show us that right now. So come up, do the hop. Good. Now you see how he did that? He got all that turn in the air, and if you get good at it, then you're going to end up, when you land, stopping all that torque that's going on and be able to go straight up and unbalanced. So let's see it one more time. But hop, good, yes, good. And one little trick to this is his hop is a little bit higher than our 2-inch hop that we normally prefer, so we can get that extra turn in there and find it. That's worth doing so you can find that hop. Do you feel that? You know, it's like I would say normally as you're coming up here and you want to hop, you don't have the best with the ball. It's right? You want to do a hop like that. I can't get around. So I now need to, as I come, lift a little higher, right, and get that hop all the way around. A nice little trick, and then you work to build that and get faster while maintaining control. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I am excited to bring you a really cool upper level skill called the step back. And a lot of people love this move. It's very useful when you are driving and then you suddenly can pull up and catch your defense off guard. So we're going to talk about it as it's happening in real time. So let's see our first step back here as Ricky comes up and drives on the left side. Good. So let's go over a little bit about what we're talking about the step back. What happened there? As he's coming down, he will jab the right step forward. You can give him the ball. Jab the right step forward. And that's going to be like the jab step, as if like, you know, let's say you weren't even dribbling. Jab step forward, and he's in this position here. And then what we like to see is scissoring your feet. Now you can do a 1-2 if you like, right? You can do this and step back 1-2. I think that you can get yourself gathered if you hop into that. And then you can stop your momentum from going backwards. So show us just from this spot, yeah. So if you're going to train this and drill it, I would start this position first. Start here, right? And now push back. Good, and add the dribble, perfect. Let's see the next one, let's go. Good, nice. Now remember, you have to sell that you're driving, right? You can't do it where they pick it up and they know you're gonna pull up and do a step back, otherwise it's a tough shot. You ready, go. Good, nice hop, love it, perfect. Let's see it again, Ricky, let's go. Jab, good, good. One more time, good. All right, that's all right. Now, you have to be a little bit quieter on your toes. Remember, what we're hearing now is they're accentuating that jab. Well, you don't want to hit that so hard. You want it to be on your toes, light, boom, and then step back and hop. Let's see it. Should be a squeak. Yeah, good, much better. There you go. Good. I like it. I like how you lift your feet before you go. Ready, go. Good, nice. Okay.
So there you have it, sports fans, and let's seal in our practice by reviewing some of the major concepts we just went over. The hop. It should be only 2 inches high. Land with one sound. The sway. Hinge at the waist. Allow your shoulders to relax. The turn. Let it be natural. Allow your body to align the hip and elbow to the basket. Use the hop to find your turn. Understand the difference between the left and right sides of the court. The dip, quick, efficient, between 6 and 12 inches. Have your arms at 90 degrees before the catch. The catch, keep your arms in close to your body. Have shooting wrists flexed back early. Just turn your head to the ball while keeping body aligned to the hoop. The release, the elbow straightens as the wrist flexes all the way through. Keep the ring and pinky fingers above the index and middle on release. off the dribble. Left hand pickup is better. Gather the ball on the 2. One motion shot. Ball stays in front of the face. Arms don't start moving up until legs begin straightening. The pin down. On the 1-2, the last step is towards the ball. On the hop, the alignment is done in the air. On left side of the floor, in-air turn is necessary. The step back. Jab inside foot towards the hoop, step back into a hop. These are all the building blocks to developing a sound jump shot. Master these techniques and your body will begin to teach you what it needs to do to be successful without interference from your brain. I'm so glad you can be part of this journey with me, and I encourage you to keep me updated with your progress as we continue to refine our methods and release even more videos to help not only with your jump shot, but every facet of the game. I'm in.